The Price Center for Social Innovation defines opportunity in many of the same ways that our founding documents here in the United States defined opportunity. It means that people could, based on the work that they do, be able to achieve the dreams that they have. So the Price Center for Social Innovation selected the topic Pathways to Opportunity for this year's summit for two reasons. The first is just simply a recognition that opportunities are not equal for everyone depending on where they live. The second reason is that we want to talk about ways that those pathways can be created so that those opportunity gaps that presently exist in many places are closed.
Where a child grows up matters for many reasons. We know that the sorts of local schools matter, the environmental toxins in the air matters, the level of safety and violence matters, the social networks among neighbors matter. Also, we should be taking a look at segregation and diversity. We know that certain groups of people have more political, economic, and social resources than others. We also need to take a look at economic opportunity for parents. Are there jobs with livable wages, with flexible but supportive schedules? Are there economic opportunities in the neighborhood that can support families as well?
So much of our society today and people today, whether they make it or not, they have the opportunity or not, comes down to luck. You can live literally a block or two away and almost be guaranteed a different outcome. There's all these things along the way, lack of stable housing, interaction with the criminal justice system, not to mention if you're undocumented here and trying to work hard and live out the American dream, there's a lot of barriers.
In order for families, students to really realize their potential in the community, become active participants, to vote, to find jobs, all of it really hinges on an excellent public education. When we do not provide an equitable education to families, to students, so that they can realize their potential, we believe our whole system falls apart. It's essentially both a gatekeeper and an engine.
The mission of Leaders Up is to bridge the divide between the untapped potential of young people and the business challenge of finding and keeping the right talent. When we think about justice-involved young adults and them representing a huge portion of our society, it's imperative that employers specifically really transform how they assess the risk associated with this population, because the #1 barrier to employment for justice-involved young adults is the background check. It's important that we also wrap around these justice-involved young adults supportive services for them to properly re-enter into society, have the soft skills necessary to be effective, have the access to career opportunities so that they do not recidivate back into the system. The #1 way to diminish recidivism is by offering economic opportunity to justice-involved young adults.
At First 5LA, our hope is through our systems change work and policy and advocacy work, we can create systems to support families as opposed to families having to navigate each individual system. We can't afford to let these children grow up and drop out of school. We can't afford to have these children become part of the criminal justice system. We can't have these children become wards of the state and become placed in foster care. So our hope is that we can not only improve the systems that we work in, but that other people see the connections to our work and that they support what we do.
These challenges have been with us for a long time. And so we recognize that it might take a social innovation process to actually activate those pathways, which is different than our traditional public policy processes. What we're willing to do in the social innovation process, a little bit different, is to actually engage a broader set of stakeholders at every stage to learn and evaluate based on that full group's understanding of what's going on. And that when you take those steps, there's a really higher chance that you can diffuse this new practice or this new model into our systems, whether those be systems in the public sector or systems in the market.
There's all these policy-related barriers that are in front of people. And so I think that we have to really be focused on that. We have to seek out new approaches because clearly the old approaches aren't working or working on scale well enough. They're serving some people, not everybody. I guess my view is you've got to use every lever. Some of that can be traditional grant making, some of it can be advocacy work. Some of that can be new technology and tools brought to those populations so they have more information about where to live. I mean, most people don't factor in, oh, if I knew I lived 3 blocks over here, the data shows that my kids might have a better outcome. But to also give those local communities and organizations more agency So our view is the people closest to the problem are going to have the best solutions.
When we, as a society, decide that it's not just about our kids or our neighborhoods, but it's about all kids in all neighborhoods, then I think things can change. I think some of it is just a decision at all levels of government that we believe in equal opportunity and we're going to commit to it.